Welcome back, everyone. My name is Sophia Worrell, and yesterday we started to look at an ideal family model. And today we will continue on this day 19, which is on the topic of so you're going to have another baby. Their son is about 5 years old, and mom has delivered a bouncing baby girl who is as cute as she is. Her son's room has been converted, and he now has a regular bed instead of the crib, which is now inside of his sister's room with all of the pink trimmings. Mom is more familiar with the regime of midnight feed-ins. She's not too bothered by the long days where she cannot get anything done because there are now two demanding children to attend to. She fights to organize her day and to ensure that she's in control of the house and all of her chores. And the days when this is not possible, she just lets it all go and allow her children her undivided attention. Dad dotes over his little girl and is even more protective of her than he was with his son. He spends more time out with his son, but keeps an eye out for his little baby girl. He definitely knows that no one is better for her than her mother. He gave a little leeway for his son to be taken care of by family members, but is not so agreeable when it comes to his little girl. Mother cannot believe him at times. He is overprotective of her and was not as much with their firstborn son. She tries to understand when he tells her that they're different and have different needs. He does not toss her up in the air. He huddles her close to him and treats her more gently. He does not play rough with her as he does with his son, who is always ready for a frolic. She wants both of them to be treated the same, but he maintains his stance. They go out as a family, and while he's batting and running with his son, the little girl prefers to play on the blanket with her mother. The fact is that both her son and daughter demands different ways to be engaged. Her son loves to roll on the lawn and kick a football with his dad. Her daughter likes to play with dolls and have tea parties. They both love coloring and playing simple board games, but her son loves to build blocks up and then smash them down in the rubble. He enjoys teasing his sister by pulling her hair, scaring her with buzz, or hiding in places and jumping out to frighten her. But he is just as protective of her, and most of the time they would sit and chew on cookies as they watch a show together to allow quiet time for mother. Mother complains to her husband about her son's energy. So when dad sees how lively his son is, he knows it is time to channel it. Dad recognizes that his son is just about ready for the work of being trained to be a man. We're going to look at the subject of chores. Dad reminds mom that she has to channel their son's energy into activities that complement his mischievousness. And that is the reason he wanted her home with the children. All of the plans that dad had told his wife so long ago when they first met and was dating was for this very exact moment when his son was just about turning 4 years old. And mom finally catches the vision and sets about strategically working with her son to prepare him for his purpose in life, and that is to provide for his own family. But we can argue that he's just a child, and this is the time when he should be carefree and not bombarded with the heaviness of life. But mom now realizes why she needs to be home with her children. It is all coming together, and she now appreciates what her purpose is and why she was designed to be in the home. She's aware that she cannot wait for her son to be a man to start training him to be a man. He has to be trained as a child for the most important duty of his life. That is why God said in Proverbs to train up a child in the way he should go, and he will not depart from it. She also now sees her place to have dominion in her home. Her son has just 1 year of freedom where all of his needs were totally met as a baby. He had 2 years when he got to have fun and explore, but he's growing and developing, and his body is changing and allowing him to adapt to new experiences. And at the age of 4 is where he must now begin to balance the tasks of work with fun. So mom gives her son chores to do. He becomes mommy's little helper. He has to make his bed and help fold his clothes. He helps her wash dishes and puts them away. He watches his sister like a good big brother and help feed her and holds her hand when they go out for walks. He has to take care of her, for she's younger and he is older. He is learning responsibility. Dad joins in and he helps dad as well. He is part of the family and helps dad with the handiwork around the house and outside when he cuts the lawn or take out the garbage. He helps with groceries and brings in bags when they go shopping. He feels needed and is proud that his parents believe in him to assist him. Mother expects him to keep up on his reading, and he can be heard reading to his sister. He sees mother doing chores, dad doing chores, and he is doing chores. He is useful and his self-esteem is being built. We'll look on the subject of allowance. Then he turns 5 years old and dad and mom tells him that it is time to go to school. He sees dad leave every day and asks him where he's going. Dad tells him that he has to go and work so that he can take care of the finances of the home. He explained that mother is home to take care of the family and he has to go out and earn income so that he can purchase food and clothes to wear and other things that is needed for the house. He tells his son that he has to go to school and learn skills so that he too can go out one day to also take care of his family when he becomes a man. And so his son puts on his backpack just as his father does when he leaves for work, and he feels like a little man as he goes out each day just like his dad and leaves his mother and sister at home. He's doing something for his family, just like his father is doing something for the family, even if he is just going to school. He is proud of himself and the fact that he is following in his father's footsteps. Then one day, dad tells him that now that he's going to school, he will give him an allowance for all the work that he's been doing at home. He gets his first dollar, but do not know what to do with it. His father explains that when anyone works, they exchange their labor for a form of payment, and that this exchange in his case is called an allowance. Dad tells him that he can use the money to purchase whatever he wants. He explains that chores are small jobs or type of tasks that are done around the house, that adds that while they're done in a way to be part of the family, there comes a time when a process of compensation is required. He tells his son that these tasks must first be done freely, and then as an incentive, a monetary value is added as a way to give incentive for completing those tasks. The look on his son's face makes him explain that an incentive is a thing that motivates or encourages an individual to do something. For instance, Dad noted that when his son was at home and was asked to do chores, that it was fun and not a problem. But now that his son has to go to school and have that other activity added to his life, helping with chores may not be as fun, and so a form of payment or concession will help stimulate greater output or investment into doing the chores that he's being asked to do. In short, his father is teaching him how to budget. The father is giving his son vital tools in increments that prepares him for greater responsibility as his son gets older. Each week, the father gives him $1, and the boy puts the money in his drawer as he's not fully aware of the concept of spending. But he's watching his parents closely now, and is aware that they take out money and pay for items. The wheels in this little boy's head begin to turn as his father deliberately starts the building block process with his son at this age and this time of his life, so that the boy can build an association with school and with work. All of this is necessary because there are many of us of African descent that are now being stereotyped with those who act barbaric and unintelligent. They felt like behavior is not what we want represented of our culture anymore. This is not God's way. This is not the American way. And it is time to build a culture that is peaceful, loving, and kind. Thank you.